Hello, hello, hello. Happy Sunday, and more specifically, happy Easter Sunday, everybody. I hope you had a nice brunch, dinner, got you some chocolate bunny action going on, maybe a little cocktail a little later on. But yeah, what's going on with this hair? Anyway. So happy Easter Sunday. I am Carla Renata, the Curvy Critic, and you have tuned into the Curvy Critic with Carla Renata episode 159. And what we do here is we do film reviews and we talk to people above and below the line in the film industry. Also, if this is your first time here, give me a big thumbs up to let me know you were here. Click that bell for notifications and subscribe to the channel. And like I always say, if Arsenio Hall can subscribe to the channel, you can subscribe to the channel. Okay? Okay. Let me say happy Easter and welcome to Michael B. and Brandon, who are my true blue diehard viewers, listeners for the Curvy Critic. Thank you for joining me on this Easter Sunday. I won't take much of your time because the SAG Awards are happening at 6 o'clock and we're going to keep this to a real tight 30 minutes. Okay? Okay. So I always talk about what I did the week before. And literally, I was busy this week, but I can't talk about it because there's going to be a big announcement made about it on April 7th. So keep your ears and eyes peeled for that announcement on April 7th. And then, of course, yesterday I caught up with some of my favorite Easter flicks, The Wizard of Oz, Easter Parade, which is one of my Curvy classics for today, and The 10 Commandments with Charlton Heston. It's like 4 hours long, so it takes up half the day. But I mean, who doesn't love the 10 Commandments? And Yvonne De Carlo, who's in that picture right there, she was literally Lily Munster on The Munsters, that old TV series, giving me life for days. She was acting her booty off. She was actually a really pretty Hollywood starlet back in the day. But anywho, I love the 10 Commandments, all 4 hours of it, and I watched it within an inch of my life. So I wanted to say that, tell you that the SAG Awards are happening right after this, and acknowledge the fact that today is the anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King's assassination. So if you don't know anything about that, or if you know little about it, I highly suggest checking out the doc MLK FBI. It is directed by Sam Pollard, and it will be very enlightening. So let's get right into it. But before we do that, let's take a trip around the curve, baby. Let's take a trip around the curve. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom and Birds of Prey each won 2 film awards at the 8th Annual Makeup Artist and Hairstylist Guild Awards, which took place in a hybrid virtual gala last night. Eddie Murphy received the Distinguished Artisan Award, and Matthew Mungle and Terry Bollea were given Lifetime Achievement Awards. Congratulations to all. Tonight, Eyes on the Prize, the iconic 14-part series on race, will broadcast 9 p.m. Easter via World Channel and PBS, marking the anniversary of the death of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. The Academy Award documentary tells the definitive story of a civil rights era from the point of view of the ordinary men and women whose extraordinary actions launched a movement that changed the fabric of America. Zendaya has joined the cast of Space Jam Legacy and is set to voice the favorite Looney Tunes character Lola Bunny alongside LeBron James, which will hit theaters on July 16th. A new trailer for MCU's Black Widow, starring my girl Scarlett Johansson as Natasha Romanoff, will highlight her struggle to face her past and deal with unfinished business. The action-packed spy thriller will launch simultaneously in theaters and on Disney Plus, with premiere access on July 9th. Disney Plus is also kicking off its hashtag Black History Always content with an episode of Disney Plus Deets focused on the Proud family. Beginning now and continuing through the 29th of every month, Disney Plus will release Black-focused content on its YouTube channel and highlight Black voices in the Celebrate Black Stories collection on the homepage of the platform. Russell Crowe has joined the cast of Marvel's Thor, Love, and Thunder. Crowe's role is being kept under wraps, and the hope was to surprise fans with this fun cameo when the film was released. But following recent photos of Crowe hanging out with the cast all over Australia, Deadline has confirmed that he is indeed in the movie.
Amanda Seyfried will play disgraced Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes in Hulu's The Dropout, replacing Kate McKinnon. McKinnon, who is in the middle of season 46 of Saturday Night Live, left the series earlier this year because of scheduling conflicts. Seyfried will also serve as executive producer. Foxx has given a series order to the drama Our Kind of People from writer, executive producer Karen Gist from Mixed Dish and executive producer Lee Daniels from Empire and Star. This marks the first time a new Foxx drama series has been ordered for the 21-22 season, and first series to come out of the network script-to-script series model introducing last summer. Morgan Freeman, Alfred Woodard, Trevor Jackson, Common, and Bill Burr are set to star in Revelations Entertainment's Hate to See You Go. The Ben Tischler directed feature tells the story of Sonny Bell, an aging Chicago musician who refuses to retire. Jamie Foxx has signed a development deal with MTV's Entertainment Group. The Oscar-winning actor and his producing partner, Datari Turner, will develop and executive produce original movies across MTV's group of Portfolio 9 brands, including MTV, Comedy Central, Paramount Network, Smithsonian Channel, Pop TV, CMTV, H1, TV Land, Logo, and their respective studios, as well as MTV documentary films. Sylvie's love star Nnamdi Asomugha is joining Jessica Chastain and Eddie Redmayne in Netflix's anticipated serial thriller The Good Nurse. Girls Trip writer Tracy Oliver signed an overall deal with Apple through her Tracy Yvonne Productions with a focus on telling diverse and meaningful stories. Get it, girl. Constance Wu, star of ABC's Fresh Off the Boat and Crazy Rich Asians, has struck a first-look deal with E1 and has tapped Justine Jones as VP of Development. She's also going to do an adaptation of Rachel Khong's novel Goodbye Vitamin with Dylan Clark Productions that she will also star in and executive produce. The Tina documentary, y'all, drew more than 1.1 million total views across all HBO platforms, making it the biggest HBO premiere documentary since 2019's Leaving Neverland. The Bee Gees documentary, How Can You Mend a Broken Heart, bowed to 1 million total viewers across various HBO platforms. Get it, Tina. There's going to be a film directed by Anthony Fabian, who was made into a partnership with the House of Dior, and Focus Features is scooping it up and sewing up the world rights to Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris with Leslie Manville and Isabelle Huppert. Salma Hayek has joined the cast of House of Gucci, Ridley Scott's next film that stars Lady Gaga and Adam Driver, that is now filming for MGM. That is it for this edition of Around the Curve.
That was a really long trip around the curve, but it was worth it, wasn't it? There was a lot of news that was dropped up in there. I'm looking forward to that adaptation from Tracy Oliver personally. I just want to say that. I'm just going to address some things that have been said in the chat room. Yes, Michael B., me and my mother with Easter Parade every year. And yes, Brandon, I love me some Lola Bugs too. All right, let's get into it. Last night on the Lifetime channel, Robin Roberts presented a biopic built around the life of Mahalia Jackson. Now, I want to get into it because most of the time when they do these biopics on Lifetime, they're ratchet. Yeah, I said it. They're ratchet, and they're usually not really worth watching. The only ones that I really liked was the one on the Clark sisters and this one on Mahalia Jackson, because Danielle Brooks is in the title role. She's being directed by Kenny Leon, who brought us the live action version of The Wiz on NBC. And Danielle Brooks is absolutely slaying it. She's singing herself all of the Mahalia Jackson hits and is absolutely fantastic. She's doing so well with the singing, in fact, that Lifetime and Robin Roberts released a soundtrack with all of the songs that Danielle is singing in the film. I find out some things about Mahalia Jackson that I didn't know. Like, I didn't know she had a but a friendship with Dr. Martin Luther King, which is why she was on the steps that day during the I Have a Dream speech. And she's the one that says, tell them about the dream, Martin. And so thanks to Mahalia Jackson, we got to hear that I Have a Dream speech. I also found out that she had issues with men. She couldn't have children. And I really like the fact that they included that, because oftentimes with women that are this busy and this famous, it looks like they have it all and they really don't. And it also put a spotlight on the fact that a lot of times with our black celebrities, they have to straddle that line of keeping the black community happy and the white community happy, and they never can do it, 1000%. Either the black people turn on them or the white people turn on them. So there's that. Just like when Whitney Houston got turned on by the black community because they said she was sounding too white and she got booed at the Image Awards, or the flack and drama that Nat King Cole got along the way. I loved hearing that part of her life and that part of her struggle. I loved hearing about that she had to fight with her record company to define her sound. They wanted her because she's a big black Zoftig woman. They automatically want her to sing the blues, and she was like, why do we need another black person singing the blues when we live that every day of our life? Boom, that part, Mahalia Jackson. So she fought to be able to sing gospel, and to this day she is the most well-known, most well-respected, most downloaded gospel artist of all time. I want to say this about the record fight. Just like Aretha Franklin, they all have to fight for their vision, their creative vision with their record labels. People should not have to do that. I also wanted to say that there's another Mahalia Jackson movie that's dropping. I'm not quite sure who is producing it and developing it, but I do know that Grammy nominated Broadway star Lettucey will be starring in that one. And I'm sure that's going to be a fabulous one too, because Lettucey she just sings the paint off the wall. But you guys, check it out. It is currently streaming on the Lifetime channel. It was really good. It aired 3 times last night, and I watched it all 3 times. That's how good it is. All right, moving into the next film that we're going to talk about today, Moment of Truth. Now, I lived this in real time. I remember when Michael Jordan's father was found dead, and nobody knew what the situation was. Nobody knew why he was found dead, what happened to him, if he was murdered, or if it was foul play, or what the situation was. But IMDb TV has produced a docuseries, a 5-part docuseries. It's directed by Matthew Pernacharo and Clay Johnson, and they're showing it's a never before seen story behind the murder of NBA legend Michael Jordan's father, James Jordan, as well as the history of social injustice in Robeson County, North Carolina, where these 2 teenagers, Larry Demery and Daniel Green, were charged and convicted of the crime. I remember that too, Michael B. It's a trip, but it's not on this one isn't on Lifetime. It is streaming on Amazon Studios, but it is produced by IMDb TV. These are some things that I found out that were absolutely crazy, because there was video and pictures of Daniel Green wearing James Jordan's watch and Michael Jordan's NBA ring. So people naturally assumed if he's dancing around doing a video with the jewelry, clearly he killed him. What actually happened is him and Larry Demery were best friends. He hooked up with Larry Demery after Larry Demery shot James Jordan and admitted that he shot James Jordan. But the shenanigans and the lies that surround that particular true crime situation are just bananas. Like the fact that there was a call made from the red Lexus that belonged to James Jordan to the nephew of the sheriff in Robeson County, that when that piece of information was brought up in court, the judge wouldn't allow them to admit it into court. That one single piece of evidence would have cleared Daniel Green. And side note, and FYI, but not really, Larry Demery, because he cooperated with authorities, got out of jail and is currently out on parole. Daniel Green has served 27 years for a crime that he did not commit. And I think that this documentary is extremely timely, simply due to the fact that we are dealing with the trial of the cop murderers of George Floyd. So there's a lot of similarities and a lot of parallels. I highly suggest watching it. It began streaming on Amazon Studios channel on April 2nd. It's 5 parts. It's called Moment of Truth, and it is produced by IMDb TV. All right, so I got a chance to talk to the entire cast of Thunder Force. Y'all know I have been screaming about some curvy superheroes. I did an interview right here on the Curvy Critic about 2 years ago where I talked to Tim Story about how he needed to create a movie with curvy superheroes. Well, I didn't have to wait. And there I am with my girls, Octavia Spencer and Melissa McCarthy. Of course, that's a fake picture, but I'm going to claim it anyway. I'm a curvy superhero too. I'm just not in a movie yet. I am bananas. Anyway, It's directed by Ben Falcone. It's going to be on Netflix on April 9th. And I talked with everybody in the cast. We had so much fun. But what I did was I combined an interview with Ben Falcone, the director, and husband of Melissa McCarthy, Bobby Cannavale, and Taylor Mosby, who plays Octavia Spencer's daughter. Take a look and a listen to that interview from Thunder Force. It's great to see you. So I was doing a little research on you, my dear, and found out that your mom is a physician and a professor, or she was a professor at some point. Was her position in real life an inspiration for you playing Tracy in Thunder Force?
We actually had a lot of funny conversations about that because she never saw me even, coming close to her field just because it was never my interest. And she thought that it was really interesting that I was finally playing a character that resembled her at a young age. And she is very, book smart and stuff. And so is my character. So it was pretty fun for her.
You look gorgeous. I'm liking the little swoop dude with the hair. Look at you. Face beat, hair done, everything did. Go ahead, girl. I love it. I love it. I love everything about it. And I also know that you're a musical theater geek. Yes?
Yes.
So when Broadway finally gets back up and running, what is the one show that you want to just hop into a theater and see and cheer for?
Wicked.
You haven't seen Wicked yet?
I've seen Wicked, but I'm ready to see it again.
This is so random, but when I was on IMDb doing some research, I found out that we had 10,826 people in common.
Well, how do you find that out?
It says it on the side of the page. It'll say you have these many people in common with this person. And I thought that was pure comedy. It was hilarious.
Are we related?
No, we're not related. I wish. Oh, you got jokes. I like that. You got jokes. I love that. So,
no, because 10,000 people, that's a lot of people. I'm just saying.
It is. It's probably from projects that we've worked on. You know what I mean? It's probably from projects we worked on. Yeah. But I know that you've worked with Melissa McCarthy a few times. And I'm just interested to know, what is a moment that when you think about her and these projects that you work on, when it comes across your mind, you think of it fondly and it just makes you crack up laughing? You're like, there's so many.
There really are so many, but Melissa has that great quality that I think is so great in a human being, and she can just nobody could make fun of themselves as much as she can. And so that's just such an endearing quality in a person. It shows that they're confident. It shows that they're, that they're just, humble people. She's a humble person. So my favorite thing is when she doesn't think she's good, or when she doesn't take, where she just thinks, she'll be like, I'm garbage. And I laugh so hard. She'll call herself garbage. And I don't know why. So the way she says garbage makes me laugh. That's just one thing. But she makes me laugh. She just makes me laugh, man. I mean, I'm the worst because I laugh. I'm the easiest laugher. I laugh more than anybody on the set. I waste a lot of people's time and money because I laugh a lot. Octavia's an Oscar winner. Melissa's a 2-time Oscar nominee.
Yeah.
So Curvy or not, I don't care. They are. I want to work with people who got game, and they're incredible. They're some of the best actors in the world. So for me, that's how I came at it. I'm just really, really excited to work with really talented people who have a load of resources to work with inside of them. You're talking about two very compassionate, deep, open women who use all of those tools to put across these human beings that they play, these very human characters that they play. So, I felt very, very honored to be in the room with the both of them.
But I know that you have a house full of women. You've got daughters and a wife. What do you do to get some me time, some little man cave time for yourself in the midst of the madness?
For sure. But I do have a thing that if the conversation goes too long for things that everyone knows that are not exactly my first interest, I will start to say, baseball, baseball, baseball. Everybody knows that is the daddy.
It's a safe word.
he would love to turn the talk to something else. Melissa's, obviously I love her. She's my wife. She's my best friend too. And she's also she's so funny and she's so creative. And so she's great to work with in every way. So that really is the short answer. I will keep working with her, obviously, until someone tells us that we can't do it anymore, because we do have a great time. doing it to, making these films. So I love how they can take down the bad guys, and they really did a great job, and were funny to boot. So I hope people enjoy the movie as much as we enjoyed making it.
Well, it helps that you wrote some great stuff and that you directed it. So thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you, Carla. Nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you too. Bye. Ben Falcone is hands down the sweetest, most humble, cutest celebrity I've ever had the pleasure to interview. He truly loves his family. And I was just swelled up with pride for Melissa McCarthy that she has a man in her life that speaks so fondly of her and her children and their children in that way. So thank you, Ben. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Bobby Cannavale, for giving me your time that particular day. I appreciate you wholeheartedly. And isn't that wild how me and Bobby Cannavale have like 10,000 people in common? I thought that was pure comedy. Insti-hoo, I got 2 Curvy classics for you guys today. The first one, I have a new logo, but I messed it up, so I'll have a better one next week. But my first Curvy Critic classic is A Streetcar Named Desire. And it was the movie or the play that kind of redeemed Tennessee Williams' Hollywood reputation. So following the success of The Glass Menagerie on Broadway, Warner Brothers hired Williams to adapt a screenplay for a movie version. But they ended up hiring another writer to tack on a happy ending behind Williams' back. The result was a critically panned dud that the playwright denounced as a travesty. Oh my God, that's pure comedy. Nonetheless, Williams returned to Warner Brothers with A Streetcar Named Desire. This time, the director and most of the cast from the Broadway show were kept on for the film, which went on to earn an impressive 12 Academy Award nominations, winning 4, including Best Actress for Kim Hunter and Best Supporting Actress for Kim Hunter and Best Actress for Vivian Leigh, who we know from as Scarlett in Gone with the Wind. Jessica Tandy was the only member of the original cast who did not play in the movie, which I thought was a travesty. But guess what? She ended up having the last laugh because she went on decades later to win the Oscar for Miss Daisy in Driving Miss Daisy. And every spring, New Orleans throws a festival in honor of the play. It's called the Tennessee Williams / New Orleans Literary Festival. It's an annual 5-day event that celebrates his world famous work, showcases emerging writers, and provides educational opportunities for literary students. It also offers tours of the French Quarter, where Williams walked, conversed, and worked, like the Hotel Maison de Ville, the restaurant Galatores, which gets a mention in Streetcar Named Desire, and the apartment where he lived in Poncho, which overlooked the Desire line. And since we're in award season, I thought it was apropos to give some love to A Streetcar Named Desire by Tennessee Williams. My next Curvy Critic classic is Easter Parade, because it's what? Easter Sunday, and it is one of my favorites. Now, this is the deal. You know, I always like to talk about who got cast instead of who. I found out that in the role of Johnny, which is played by Peter Lawford in the film, it was originally supposed to be played by Frank Sinatra, which is kind of crazy because Frank Sinatra and Peter Lawford were part of the Rat Pack, which include Peter Lawford, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Joey Bishop, and Sammy Davis Jr. This is my favorite photograph from the movie with Fred Astaire and Judy Garland in the bum outfit. I love this so much because this number that she does in the movie, she ended up adapting it and putting it in her live concerts that she did for years and years and years, and had her bum partner be Liza Minnelli, who is her Oscar-winning daughter for Cabaret. Sid Charisse was up for the role of Nadine, but tore a ligament in either one or both of her knees, and it forced her to drop out. She was replaced by Ann Miller. And although she'd been a star for years, Judy Garland was 26 years old when she met Fred Astaire at 49 and was afraid to speak to him until they were properly introduced. And Gene Kelly was originally scheduled to play Don, but he broke his ankle when he stomped his foot in anger after losing a volleyball game. And it was his suggestion that Fred Astaire replace him in the film. So that is why we got the duo of Fred Astaire and Judy Garland in Easter Parade. 7 years later, there's this big number that my producer just showed of Ann Miller in this yellow outfit tapping. 7 years later, that picture right there, 7 years later, Doris Day would also perform Shaking the Blues Away, which is where that picture is from, in an MGM musical. Day's version in Love Me or Leave Me in 1955 focused on her vocal and her with her being surrounded by male dancers in tuxedos, while Ann Miller's version of Shaking the Blues Away is a solo number focusing on her tap skills. Now, a big a big FYI about Ann Miller in this photograph. Apparently, Ann Miller did these things in a back brace. In an interview with Robert Osborne, the former host of TCM, who's no longer with us, she revealed that she had been thrown down the stairs by her then husband, Reese Milner, and was pregnant at the time and was in a lot of pain. She had pinched nerves in her back, and she was also taller than Fred Astaire. So she offered to wear ballet slippers instead of heels so that she wouldn't tower over him when they did their big numbers like The Girl I Love and It Only Happens When I Dance With You. Also, Jules Munshin, who is the hilarious waiter in multiple scenes in this movie, he plays the comic waiter that's very entertaining with the menu items. The very next year, after he does Easter Parade, he would play one of the 3 sailors on leave in New York City in the musical movie On the Town, ironically enough, with Gene Kelly and Frank Sinatra. So that's it for my Curvy Critic Classics this week. All right, now let's get on to Thunder Force. Y'all, I'm always screaming about superhero movies. I love superhero movies. I'm always screaming about curvy superheroes. And I was so glad that they came in the form of Octavia Spencer and Melissa McCarthy. I love Melissa McCarthy. I talk about her on this show all the time. Octavia Spencer is a dear friend of mine. So I was like, yay, if anybody was going to be a curvy superhero, I'm glad it was the two of them. So Thunder Force deals with 2 childhood friends, Lydia and Emily, who reunite as an unlikely crime-fighting superhero duo when one of them, Emily, invents a formula that gives ordinary people superpowers, i.e. Lydia. It's pure comedy. It's fun. It's kitschy. They don't take themselves too serious. Baby, there is this scene where they are trying to get in this Lamborghini and they're standing there, like every superhero, like Wonder Woman and all them, they always have that wind-blowing moment. I laughed my booty off when I watched that. It also gives you a highlight of, how you can be besties with somebody when you're a kid and then grow apart as you become adults. But then there's always some kind of commonality that brings you back together as adults and you just kind of pick up where you left off. I love seeing these dolls in this light. I'm hoping for more. I'm hoping Ben will give us like a Thunder Force 2 or maybe like a comic book series or Saturday morning series or a comic book. Like, I don't know, but I just need that in my life. And last but not least, y'all, there is this hilarious sex scene. So the forces that they're trying to bring down, Emily and Lydia are trying to bring down, are called miscreants. And one of the miscreants, he's bad guy, but not really, is played by Jason Bateman. He plays this crab. Baby, when I tell you there is this love scene with him and Melissa McCarthy's character that involves melted butter and Old Bay season, that's all I'm going to say about it. All I'm going to say about it. That should hold you until the film comes out on April 9th. It'll be on Netflix on April 9th. But until then, take a look and a listen at this hilarious interview I did with my girls, Melissa McCarthy and Octavia Spencer for Thunder Force.
Hey.
Hey, Octavia. Hey, Melissa. How y'all doing?
I'm good.
I'm so excited to talk to y'all today. I have so many things to say. Okay, first of all, let me congratulate you, on your NAACP Image Award wins. Yes, for Madam CJ Walker. Yes. And let me congratulate you, Miss Melissa McCarthy, because you are about to be part of the MCU universe. Yes, ma'am. And you are about to be Ursula in Little Mermaid. Yes, ma'am. So let's just give y'all props on that.
True.
Hey, let me tell you something.
I'll
Good. I'm glad you'll take it because I'm happy to give it to you. Let me tell y'all something. I have been screaming about curvy superheroes for years. I'm so excited and so happy that it was the two of y'all that came to the screen doing it. Having said that, what was the most, and let me just say that the windblown action was giving me life and y'all squeezing into that car was giving me life. So I just want to know, what was the most fun part of doing it for y'all? And what was the most challenging part of doing it for y'all? Because I had a good time. Go ahead, Melissa, you can go first.
I have to say the best part of the whole thing was the whole process. Getting to spend, Octavia and I have been dear, dear friends for 25 years. She's busy. I don't get to see her like I would like to. So getting her for 3 months every day while we filmed and we got to tell this great story of these two women was like a gift from the gods. I mean, you get to spend that many times with Octavia and like you feel like renewed. It's like that is a good time. And the whole thing, every day, the day to day, get that Lamborghini. I don't know if I had never been in and out of one before. That was for real. Like that wasn't written in when we went to get in. It's so crazy. We're both like 5'2".
5'2".
If you're 5'2" woman,
I'm 5'2" too.
You don't want it. You don't want it.
Baby, I hollered so loud when I saw that part. I laughed out loud because I'm like, I understand what that feels like in this moment. Let's talk about these stunts. Melissa, I know you do stunts all the time, but Octavia, I don't think I've ever known you to do a stunt ever in your life for anything. How frightening was this for you?
It was quite, it was illuminating that I was not an athlete. But you know what? I enjoyed the process, but my props to Alex, my stunt lady. She was amazing. And the other thing is, watching Melissa for years, she makes it all look easy. She does stunts, she does action, she does all of this, and she makes it look easy. And then when somebody, is ready to put you in a harness, it's like, it's not easy.
I can't even get her off the ground. She goes, oh. I'm like, they haven't even lifted you yet. You're not even up. Oh.
Y'all got my stomach hurting. Octavia, I'm going to be saying that to you from now on. I'm just going to be like, oh. But I don't have that much time left. And in the time that I have left, I want to say this to both of you. I adore both of you. You are comedy goddesses. You guys straddle that line of comedy and drama like nobody I've ever seen. I love both of you so very much. I'm so excited that you did this project. I'm so excited that you brought it to us. I'm so excited that you are representing Curvy Girls. I love you. And thank you so much for giving me time to chat and laugh with you today. I appreciate it more than you'll ever know.
Thank you, Carla.
Bye. I laughed to the point where my lashes about to come off at them fools again, just watching it back. Because baby, when I tell you, I'm not kidding. I've known Octavia for a really long time. And literally thanks to Octavia, this is why I'm able to get half of the interviews that I get, because she went on her Instagram account and shouted me out and told people to let me interview them, and that she thought I was good. And because she said that, the floodgates kind of opened. I will never forget that she used her platform in that way to support me as a female film critic that is Black. I wholeheartedly appreciate her, but I truly am gonna tease the hell out of her the next time I see her. I'm just gonna go, oh. I swear I will. Like, that's gonna be my thing for the rest of the time that I know her. It just makes me laugh. But hold up, wait a minute, before we get up out of here, I just want y'all to know that next week, the BAFTA Awards, the British Academy Film and Television Awards, are going down. So I will talk about that as we go along. And I will start breaking down my Oscar nominations, because the Oscars are coming up toward the end of April. And I'm going to break down my best picture predictions for I think it is 93rd Annual Academy Awards. So thank you, Michael B. Thank you, Brandon, for always hanging with a sister, rolling with a sister. I appreciate you. If for those of you who have been here for the first time, please give me a thumbs up to let me know you were here. Click that bell on YouTube for notifications. Subscribe to my channel. All the reviews that I do here on the video and on the audio podcast can be seen in written form at thecurvyfilmcritic.com. The review for Thunder Force will be up there momentarily, and so will Moment of Truth and Mahalia. So until next time, take care. wash your hands, stay 6 feet apart, get that vaccination if you get a chance. This has been episode 159 of The Curvy Critic with Carla Renata. And until next week, love, peace, and hair grease, and I'll see you on the flip side. Bye.